recently launched a new podcast titled 21st Century HR. You know, I'm a sucker for origin stories, and so I want to give a little bit of background and context as to how this came together. You know, in my career, I've spent over 20 years working in HR and recruiting in a variety of different roles, in in-house corporate roles, leading teams, consulting roles, and independent contracting roles. And I've had the pleasure of working with some amazing HR leaders and HR executives that are really redefining the field and pushing the boundaries of what it meant to be in HR and recruiting. And I've been really fortunate that I've always viewed the field personally as an innovative and progressive career path and a creative career path. Specifically in recruiting, as employer branding started to mature, it really became creative as well. And I think particularly over the last couple of years, as I had co-founded HR Open Source, and we'd been traveling the world from Johannesburg to Stockholm to London to all kinds of cities in between, meeting with practitioners, learning about their roles, learning about their struggles and their challenges, it made it very clear to me that the field of HR is really at this turning point from kind of legacy, more personnel-oriented HR to progressive, strategic, data-driven, and really kind of business operators who are leading people teams. And to me, that transition has been fascinating. All of my career, I've really been drawn to kind of that leading edge of the industry. And whether it was through my own past work, whether it was through the consulting work at Amplify, whether it was through scaling HR Open Source, and then even beginning to write for Fast Company and Forbes, I really wanted to find examples of that, of great innovative work, progressive practices, progressive leaders that were really reinventing the field. And so late last year, I launched a new series in Fast Company titled 21st Century HR. And the idea behind that is I wanted to kind of scour my network and the world to find examples of innovative people practices that were really pushing the boundaries of what it meant to work in HR and having great results. And through the course of that work, really transforming businesses. And so I really wanted to be able to kind of nerd out and explore that and talk to leaders and highlight examples of great work that's being done, because there is a lot of it that's out there, but a lot of times people don't know about it. And so the Fast Company series was designed to do that. And as I thought more about it, I thought there's layers to those kind of stories that you really can't cover in the course of 1,000 words in a Fast Company post. And so the original idea behind the podcast is I wanted to create the podcast as a way to go deeper and add another dimension to those stories. So rather than being kind of confined to 1,000 words, I could go deeper, I could go broader, I could interview people that I'll actually be speaking with and quoting in the stories to add another layer of context and really go a bit deeper. And then as the wheels started turning there, then I started thinking, okay, well, this also will give me an opportunity to explore other topics, other stories, other ideas that may not just be captured in the Fast Company posts. So really that's what this podcast is. It's an exploration of modern HR. My aim is to highlight innovative and progressive work being done all around the world to kind of shine a spotlight on that and allow other practitioners to see it, to be inspired by it. In some cases, use it as fuel, kind of replicate some of those approaches, but really try to broaden the reach of innovative practices and innovative practitioners that are reinventing the field. So really excited about what's to come with this podcast and also with the Fast Company series. So you can find both on 21stcenturyhr.com. I'll have an aggregate of all of the Fast Company stories as well as all the podcast episodes. And we're now formally live on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, TuneIn, wherever you want to consume your audio content and podcast content, you can do so. So all those links are on the website as well. I'm also going to be incorporating some video, some live. I really want to make this a bit more kind of multi-dimensional from a storytelling perspective as well. So it's not going to be limited to just print and audio. I've got a lot of events and conferences in the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to be bringing you some of those stories, getting some interviews while I'm there, and so much more to come. So check it out. You can find it all on 21stcenturyhr.com, and I want to really make this interactive. So if there is practitioners or if there is great work that you're coming across that you think deserves a spotlight, hit me up. Let me know. I'm always going to be leveraging my network to help find and source new stories to explore. So with that, again, 21stcenturyhr.com, and much more to come.